everybody. Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. Or sugar honey iced tea.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
I'm Christie.
And I am Mia.
You know what this is.
You can call us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so. So y'all, woo!
Man.
All I gotta say is woo.
Emotional roller coaster.
Who is that, Carl? I'm on the Vivian Green.
Yeah.
I'm on the emotion.
Man, you guys, it has been.
Our younger people gonna be like, "What the hell?" Google it, y'all. It's
Vivian Green.
When I say it is, it's real. What it is.
It is.
So
real.
last week we talked about finding your happy in the midst of the crappy. Yes, we rhymed. Leave us alone.
We got bars.
We got bars.
Bars.
So we talked about resetting your day, creating rituals for yourself, acknowledging when you need to take a break from people, places, things, social media, all that shit.
Say it.
But the big takeaway here is that you have control over your feelings and how much energy you give something. Okay, so that's the big takeaway. But and when I say emotional roller coaster, y'all, it's just been heavily astrologically, That's not our area of expertise, but we know just enough to know astrologically shit is kind of it's jammed right now. Yeah. But we keep it moving because we know it's part of our journey. So, right. Christy, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today is going to be a very interesting topic. So today we're talking about being woke. So this word has become yet another trendy buzzword. And I'm sure that many of you have probably hear this at least once a day. I feel like I hear this all of the time. So side note about the word woke. So I knew this word was on its way to death. I knew this word was on the Green Mile when the physicians at my job were talking about woke. Like, we actually had a meeting, and they brought up the word. Oh yeah, well, you woke. You're woke. And they were explaining it, like, well, woke means that you know what's going on.
Did you start getting the casket together?
And I'm sitting here like,
okay. Bye.
So pretty much. But what the hell does the term woke mean? What does it mean? So honestly, it's become one of those words that means a lot of different things to different people. And so we are going to discuss it today. And we don't necessarily align with the word woke. We're just using it.
Because I think it's become such a, I'm woke to this. Woke. But because this is for
Grand Rising Queen.
This is right. Okay? You woke. So, but because what we talk about is a lot with mastering yourself and knowing yourself, knowing the divinity in you, that's what we're talking about. When we talk about being awoke and awakening, we're talking about to you and who you are. So, let's just put that disclaimer out. We realize it's, the word is gone. They stole it. It's over. But
it's dead.
You know what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, so you're woke, so now what?
So what you going to do now?
Right.
So what does that mean? So, let's talk about like this. So, the waking up process, the, coming into an awareness.
And not physically waking up.
Right.
Spiritually waking
I would say one thing that we, that I think we need to talk about is the fact that it comes in waves. There's not this okay, I'm woke and it's over.
No, it's a continuous.
When I tell you there is a reawakening at different times in your life, like just when you think, somebody asked me what would the name of my autobiography be, and I said just when I thought I knew, ...
Right.
Something, you know what I mean? So there's always a awakening, and you guys, this is the thing, we know it's not all pretty.
No, it's not. Because
some of the stuff we awaken to, and I Chrissy, I know you can relate to this. Like we awaken to the beauty of life. Like, oh my God, I've been missing it. We awaken to the beauty in ourselves.
Yep.
And then sometimes we awaken to the healing that we need. We awaken to the trauma that we've pressed down. We awaken to stuff that we need to address within ourselves, that shadow self. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's two sides of the same coin.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say right now, if I'm keeping it one.
Yeah, so what wave are you on right now?
Right. I was just about to be like, what side of the coin am I on? Ooh, you know what? I might be a little schizophrenic here because depending on the hour of the day, at this point,
But that's like being honest, yeah. Because
like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, and then
I'm walking on
today,
sunshine,
yeah,
and then you're in the corner.
Then I'm tears.
Yeah.
So I think that, but it's a part of the process, and waking up to who you are, right, and understanding what you are, is beautiful and tragic. That's how.
That's good.
That's beautiful.
That makes
and
sense.
Tragic. Oh my!
So you don't want to avoid it. I think a lot of people, especially when you understand, if someone were to tell you, okay, so this path is painful, everyone's going to avoid it.
Yeah,
you're going to avoid it because nobody wants
beautiful.
To. Right. But no one wants to encounter pain. But once you understand that sometimes you have to endure pain to then be able to encounter and feel the beauty of life. Then it becomes
and we talked about this. Yeah. We talked about.
I feel like we talked about all the
suffering.
Yeah,
we talked about suffering, and and the thing is, sometimes it's through the suffering. Sometimes where we discover ourselves, right, and sometimes it's because of the suffering that awakening happening. So, if I'm not going, we gonna keep it real with y'all. This shit ain't cute all the time. We've said this several times before, but when I say it's tragic sometimes, but God, just think. One thing can't exist without the opposite. Yeah. There's duality. Like the yin yang. Yeah. Oh my God, exactly. Yin yang. There you go. So on one side is this. So just imagine if you're going through a time where you feel like, what in the purity hell? No. That other side of that coin is so damn beautiful. And you know what? I needed that for my fucking self. Thank you, Spirit.
Message.
Because now I needed that.
And then sometimes I feel like... But sometimes I feel like it prepares you. So, like, if you are in that valley, I feel like the valley prepares you for that upswing.
Yes, that climb.
Right, and then that upswing prepares you for that valley. Yes. So it's like this continuous...
It's a cycle.
It is a cycle. And, again, both sides of the coin...
It's the same coin.
It's the same coin. Don't avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about aha moments.
Ooh, shit. I love aha moments. No, seriously. I enjoy an aha moment. I do. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, no, and I do too. And I have I feel like I have many aha moments. Like actually just had an aha moment now. Reflecting, like when I was showing the yin and the yang.
Mm-hmm. She has a yin yang tattooed on it.
So
I skipped tattoos on Thursday, by the way.
I don't know. I hope so. So I ditched high school. I had my little boyfriend call me in sick. I ended up getting caught because I called my father because he got scared and hung up. But and I think about for whatever reason I was so drawn to the yin and the yang, and if you look at it, it's this dark and this light, but it's this cohesiveness that creates this one beautiful thing. And so as we were talking about it, I was like, oh, I have the yin and the yang. And then I just thought about I was 15, not knowing what I was doing, went and got this tattoo.
And y'all know
it's a great reminder.
But the yin yang though is so beautiful because it's a circle, so it's complete. And within that circle is the light and the dark. And when you look at the white side, there's a spot of dark. Yep. It goes to show you that everything exists in us, no matter what side of this perfect sphere, this continuation of life you are on, it exists within you.
Yep.
So anyway, back to the aha moment. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So I like to think of it like when you have these aha moments, when you come to a realization of something. And I'm gonna tell you something that's beautiful about aha moments. When you're going through some pain and some healing with yourself, and you have an aha moment. Let me tell you, the most beautiful aha moment to me is when you realize some bullshit that you went through in your life served a purpose. You like, oh my fucking God! Yes!
It makes so much sense.
I get it now. that is such a beautiful thing. And I would tell you, even if you haven't had an aha moment on everything, know that your pain is not for nothing.
Right.
There will be a time, a moment, a space, a place where you're just like, that's why that happened.
Right.
Because now I know this, and I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to think of them as like, it's when you have this moment, it's like a deep truth that you knew, and you forgot for a second, and then it came back, and you're like, oh wait, I remember. Yeah. That's what awakening feels like to me. So it's not awakening to something that you did. It's like when you have awakening moments, it's like, oh, duh. You know what I mean? And less of a, oh, this thing that's
right. Like the heavens don't open up.
It's in you. It's, well, you know, it's been, but it's opening up to something that you know. It's like it's been there. When I truly think about every one of my awakenings, those moments.
Notice she said every one.
Yeah, because no, real talk, because there's several of them. Every time I have one of those moments, it's never for me, and this is just me. Let me know what it is for you. It's never like, I never like, oh, this is something completely. It's just like, that makes sense, because it's something that's been tugging at you, something that's been pulling on you, and then, you know, because we don't have the knowledge or understanding at that time, we just file it to the side and keep it moving. Mm-hmm. But then you have an awakening, and that thing, you like, wait, let me go back to that file. Right. Oh, okay, got it. So it's more like, for me, it's been more like that.
For me, it's been like a deja vu. Like, remember when you, like a spiritual deja vu. Yeah. But you know, when you're somewhere, you're like, oh, that feels so familiar. Like, I know this. I know this.
Yes. Yes.
I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but I know this.
Oh my. Oh,
so like in my week,
that's real.
So the
that's
aha
so
moment,
real.
there
that's
are times
so
where I'm
real.
like, okay, wait, no, I know this.
Yeah.
And I know that there have been times where my soul team has told me, like, Christy. And I'm just like, whatever. I ignored it. And then when something happens and it's just like, see, we told you. It's like, oh, yeah, I do know this.
I would say the most transformative aha moment that I had, and I would tell you that everyone has had, anybody who's listening to this has had this moment. It may have come in different ways. It is when I realized that this ain't it.
Yeah.
Like something. But the aha moment that I had, I was just like, wait a minute, hold on.
There's more to this.
Hold on. Let me carry the 2, 10. Nope. Nope. That was an awakening. And with that, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because that awakening is different, because there's not an answer. That awakening begets more questions.
Right.
So it's kind of scary. You're just like, okay, well, now I know this, but shit, now I have a gazillion questions about life, about myself, about so many. That's an awakening, you guys. That's, hello, you woke up, hey,
I have
alarm went off.
Many
when
questions.
You start to ask the questions, so for me, when I think about, and I've had so many, like I'm talking about gifts being exports, from showing me the power of the healing that I have. All of that is beautiful, but to me, the most transformative aha moment was when I started to ask questions of myself, of everything that I've been told, and it's like all the fake shit that I built up and believed and accepted just came crumbling down. And I was like, oh shit.
Like, it's almost
like, oh shit.
Right. So it's almost like this construct that we've been groomed into, like, going through as children, as teens, as young adults. And I started questioning. I'm like, so you mean to tell me I gotta wake up every single day and do the same shit every single morning?
Wait, I got one for
make
you.
The coffee, go to work.
Y'all know I keep my journals, so I have journals forever. I read my 2004 journal. I'm serious, for real, because it helps me to remember my growth. I said in 2004, so I had to have been, 2027. I said, I wrote, I was journaling, and I was like, the idea of get up every day, go to work, get more education, to keep rising in this job till you one day are old enough to retire and then live. I wrote it. I said,
and you're stressed.
The idea of that bores the fuck out of me already. And I was, you know what I mean? And mind you, I'm in it, but I even knew then, I'm like, that can't be it. Like, you're trying to tell me, like, I came on here to work until I can't work anymore and then enjoy a little bit of life in my old age.
Like, what are you going to do?
That's not, that can't.
Can't go ziplining, right. Can't go skydiving,
that can't be it.
And break a hip.
I'm here to just work and earn as much money and false idea of power as I can. Girl, please. I'm like, that's not what's up.
Right.
You know?
So another thing is waking up from expectations.
Yeah.
And
sorry, I just, like I just said, so the idea of, and I can't speak to every generation, but I can tell you for certain ours, we were born, read, raised, and taught that this is the way that life is.
Right.
This is what you have to do.
We're programmed.
And here's the thing, and I will say this because I truly and honestly believe that the programming, especially coming from my parents, was not to harm or hurt us. They were like, I'm setting you up for success.
That's all they knew.
In this work. Thank you. So I'm not mad about it at all. It's just like, I'm setting you up for success. So we have this expectation, and this is where this, you know how you seen this meme, they say, what's the worst hood you've been in? And they say adulthood. This is bullshit. So we set up this expectation.
Don't believe it. Don't do it.
Okay, so let me see. If I go to school, if I do this, if I do all,
if you do everything right, things, making all A's,
I have an expectation that my life will be like this.
No, it's not.
Now, for some people that worked out, but for a lot of women, especially some women of color, I know it ain't quite work out. What's the expectation? So now, instead of feeling, what we do is, instead of going, this is some bullshit ass expectations that everybody's supposed to do this. This is some bullshit. We don't do that at first. What we start doing is beating up ourselves.
Yep.
Like, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing because, hello, I've been told this from every angle. I'm supposed to look like this, act like this, have this, be that. And then when you have an awakening, one of your awakenings will come and it says, hey, sis, wait, come over here in the corner.
Go left. Don't go right.
Gotta tell you something. That's some bullshit.
No, it's true.
That shit is scary as hell. What you mean that's some bullshit? I've built my whole life on this shit. What you mean?
So going back to what we were discussing. So before we actually started recording, I was talking. Or did we talk? No, I think this was before when I moved to New York at 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved to New York at 19. Now I was actually attending college in Lake Forest. I had a scholarship. I was in a dance conservatory, and I just knew that I had to be in New York. The expectations that my parents had for me was, everyone went through college, but I had a long conversation with my father, and I was just, I need to move. Like, I have to go to New York. And my father, who he finished high school, but he never got his degree, his college degree. He said, you know what? And I appreciate him because he's also an artist, but he's like, you know what? As a dancer, there is a small frame of time in which you have to be able to do this.
Come on.
So even though this is an expectation that we have of you, the fact that you are going and doing this and moving in this space, go ahead and do it, because you can always go back to school.
Yep.
You can always go back into the program that is there for you, that path that we've been programmed to walk on. And I will say that was one of those moments where I was just like, okay, well, this is what
my path doesn't have to look.
It doesn't.
Like this. Now, mind you, of course, now she, went to New York, Alvin Ailey dancer, and she still got a master's, y'all. So life is life.
But what did that give me? Because now I'm back.
Right. But now we come full circle.
I'm back. Right.
But the point is having that moment where you realize it doesn't have to go red, orange, yellow, green, blue.
It doesn't.
It can be red, indigo.
It can be white,
black. Then I'm
gonna
go
be
to
gold.
2.
It can be pink.
Then I'm gonna go to B. You know what I mean? Like you get to create your path, and you know how you have those moments. I can tell you for a fact, and the reason I can tell you for a fact that I remember this is because I go read through my journals. I've had several times where I was just like, this can't be it. Like this, I don't know I didn't know what I was saying or what I was asking, but there was this knowingness in me, and I couldn't point to some empirical data, something where I could explain it to somebody else. Like, I don't know what I'm feeling and what I'm knowing, but I just know that this ain't fucking it. So when you wake up from that expectation, you're like, oh, I was right. This ain't it.
No, it's not.
This is so much more. It's so much bigger. It's so much grander. It's so much.
It is so much. Because I remember I was, being taught, like, you have to go to college, then you want to get your master's degree, and you want to do all these. And so I did that. Non-traditionally, of course. And I remember being at work one day. And
you got a master's from Northwestern. That's how much more
master's from Northwestern, master's from UIC.
Well, how much more traditional can you get?
Well, I was saying non-traditional because I had kids and,
You became a dancer and had kids.
I went to school as an adult. I was working full-time and full-time
age,
student.
And her kids are almost gone. My dumb ass like, career, girl, money. I had a kid at 34. Now I got a 9-year-old.
But you know what? So, and I think I mentioned this in maybe in one of my podcasts. So one of my dance teachers said, have your children young. I said, say less. Say less. Because she was like, you can get your body back. You can continue your dance career. But I remember the day where I went to work and I was, always trying to strive to be the best, to be like always trying to get to that next level, and going to work and seeing people clocking in and looking miserable.
Oh.
And I was like, why do we do this to ourselves? So we're pretty much just slaves. We are slaves to these jobs. Everyone has their cup of coffee, slowly walking in, but then trying to get quick to get out.
I'm literally... I'm laughing and chuckling on this side, but also a little sad, because when I tell you
it's the
that
truth.
was my existence. Like, I remember, like, oh my God, waking up from the expectations, not only that you've placed on yourself, but the things that we've allowed to take in and accept of, like, and I just remember the feeling that I was doing the right thing, but I'm like, but I don't know why I feel a little empty. Like, there's something missing, and it's not. And let me be clear. I'm not saying that. Oh my God, if you're working in corporate America,
no, not at all.
Your life is empty. What I'm saying is releasing the expectation that it's either this or this. Right. And I tell this to clients all the time. You don't have. It's not
it can be and.
This or this. Right. It's and. So
yep.
I am. Killing it in the motherfucking boardroom, and I'm, a fucking goddess, and I'm a mama, and,
right.
I'm
I think that's one of the reasons. There might be little ears out there.
I'm just saying.
But I think that's why we have that podcast too, because even though I am, in this spiritual world, I am still living in this 3D world.
Yes.
Like we're
here.
We are still here. Like I'm still working my 9 to 5.
It's still okay.
It is still okay.
It is still okay.
It is still okay. Although every morning I'm just like, really? I gotta do this again.
We got shit to do.
But I think
we got shit to do, Chris. That's something else.
This is true. We got shit to do. But now that I'm here, I'm able, like, I look at things from a different perspective, and it is okay because, once you start seeing things for what it truly is, and we still have to live here, we can't beam up anywhere.
Yeah,
because I've been trying.
Wait,
I've been trying.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna keep a 100,000 with the kings and the queens right now.
I've been trying.
If we could have beamed up, baby, let me tell you something.
We would have been gone a long time ago.
Bye. That we would not be having this conversation
right now. Here, so we're making the best out of it.
So which brings up the next point is being awake to the fact that you're having this human experience. And remember, you guys, we say this all the time, we are spiritual beings. Yeah. Like as an entity, as a being, we are spiritual. And we're having a human experience. Waking up to the fact that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Woo, baby! Chills, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Because being a human is hard, man.
Yeah, but there's something to. Oh my goodness! Like I would start tearing up. Y'all know I'm a crybaby.
That's so great. Go ahead.
No, I know I'm a.
Because you cry, I cry.
I'm
like that.
Yeah, just like that. Ooh. Waking up to the fact that the limited the limiting version or thought of what and who I am is not true.
And that's the human part.
Oh, that's the human part.
Yeah.
I am bigger and grander. I am connected to all. I am the universe. Yep. I am good. What? Like what?
Yeah.
It's so overwhelming. And that to me, that's one of those awakenings that comes in waves too. Because it's like it's the beginning, and then you learn something else, you pick up something else.
I'm that bitch. What?
Yes. Like for real.
Yeah.
And you start understanding understanding energy, and everything is energy. Then you start understanding like what I'm here. Oh my!
And then when people try to come at you a certain way, you're like, oh, okay.
But I can't though. But I can't. So and this is so. Look, we like before we started recording, I was just talking about this. This is part of the pain, right?
Yeah.
Of it is understanding that you're a spiritual being. So then, like I said, the understanding of that comes in waves too, because you start to understand your power and how much of a creator you are in this universe, and like that you're like really. When I say really understanding and have the awakening, I am literally a walking manifestation of the creator.
Yes,
like for real, understanding that you like
and then you start seeing and then you start seeing. You know, the people on the outskirts that are trying to keep you from seeing the power that you actually have.
You know, we got to get into that,
right?
So, but then you're like, but I'm here in this human body because there's something. I got plenty.
You've been sipping.
Well, because remember I drank that champagne first. Sorry, you guys.
Oh my God.
So
it's Wednesday.
So
hope you guys have your glasses of wine.
Understand? Yes, y'all should be drinking with us by now. I'm sure. So understand that, understanding that, okay, I'm a spiritual being, I'm having this human experience, then understanding the grandness of being a spiritual being and understanding your choice and option, then you start saying like, oh shit, so I actually chose to be here. Okay, so I chose to be here for a reason.
For a purpose, yes.
There's that tug in you when you realize that you chose to be in this human experience. There's something about the tug for you to discover and get on the journey of who am I? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Why did I choose to be here? That's another form of an awakening, you know?
And the people that we choose to be in our lives who do us wrong, we chose them.
We chose them for lessons and
for a purpose, you know? And I think that was the biggest thing too. I think that was
I'm just
so part of my awakening, I had to unpack all of that baggage. Okay, so why would I be with this person who is going to do why would I choose that? Or why would I choose this person who's going to do X, Y, and Z?
Yep.
Or, you know, why would I allow myself to be, I don't want to say brainwashed, but programmed by religion and then end up in this relationship and then things are just off balance because I was thinking that I was doing things right, following religion, and then I ended up in this relationship. It wasn't necessarily meeting what I needed sexually. So it's just like, well, what do you do with that? But I forgot.
Look, but your point is, think about it. When you start asking your question, because you realize that all these relationships and points in experience I chose, I had to unpack and a time before time. When you start unpacking that, you can start kind of beat up on yourself. But this is the thing now.
Because I was like, no one else did this but me.
That's where you go through, well, what did I take away from this? If it wasn't
there's a reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
And I literally just said this when we were sitting here talking. I know that I chose people in my life for a reason, even though it didn't, what I believed end up the way it should, but it really did.
Right.
They have all served their purpose. Our soul contract, whatever we pre-ordered, I fulfilled mine.
Right.
They fulfilled theirs, and it is what it is. But sometimes in this human experience,
we have expectations.
Come on, right. Like in it, and let's keep it real in this motherfucker. Like yes, like even when you know that, even when you're
gonna be happily married forever
less,
and ever and ever,
that doesn't make it less.
Right.
Painful to grow through and go through the changes, but even that part of it. So there's the lesson, and then there is the blessing of being able to pull yourself out of and grow through. That's when you're on the path to self mastery.
Because let me tell you, So, I mean, just going back and thinking about, like, okay, I chose my first husband and it ended up this way. Okay, I chose my second husband.
I'm laughing because, ditto.
and tomorrow it will be finalized. But, so I'm thinking, and
tattoos tomorrow, y'all. We got to find us.
We got to.
Okay, sorry, I got
so, yeah, I was thinking, I was like, well, why would I choose these people to put me in this place in life? And then I had that aha moment where I was like, oh, because your first relationship had to remind you how strong you are. Your second relationship had to remind you to stop faking the funk and live who you are.
She said relationships, we mean marriages. She didn't have like 5,000 relationships.
I know, I'm sorry. I just, the marriage, I'm so over the word. But... So, yeah, when I was unpacking all that, I was like, okay, so these are the lessons that I learned from these relationships, and now I get it. Like, it makes sense. I get it. Not necessarily that I want to do this again, and I've already talked to my soul team, like, we don't have to do this in order we don't have to.
Hey,
I got it.
I mastered that lesson. Thank you. Next. We are moving the fuck on. I surrender to that blessing and that lesson, and let's move forward.
Thank you.
Ooh. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So, yeah, I mean, once I understood that, I was like, okay, that is interesting. Yeah, I.
So talking about that, waking up from and understanding those negative experiences, old habits, and patterns. So an awakening, the aha, right, of this type, when you're able to look at a past relationship. I'm just, I just talk about me. Look at a past relationship, my ex-husband. Y'all know I don't talk too much shit about my daughter's dad. We cool. We get along, but like we're not together for a fucking reason. This motherfucker ain't. It ain't all that, but because of I've had an aha moment and an awakening of what that relationship was for me. I just don't necessarily see it like that now. Under a new understanding, I have so much gratitude and appreciation, even though, real talk, it's been several times where I thought I could kill him and get away with it. Like, I would, they're not gonna, just die. Like,
but can I say something to that, too? Because I also
now looking at it, it's different. It's like, oh, damn, motherfucker, I would have no idea how fucking dope I was if it wasn't for the ignorant shit you did. Thank you. Right. Real talk.
But see, on another side of that, I also think that once you get to a point where you realize who you are, that there's just some shit, there's just some bullshit that you just won't deal with. And it's just like...
for certain.
Okay, no, I'm good. And I think sometimes that's painful, because if you were not, living in your spirituality piece and you were just human, you'd be like, oh, yeah, for sure. But then I feel like once you get to a point where you're starting to unravel all of the pieces of yourself and you're really beginning to understand what you deserve, what you're worth, and everything that you are, and you are a goddess. You don't know what you've
been through, what's beneath you.
Exactly. And you might vibe with someone, you're just like, but we are not on the same, we're just not on the same line. We're just not there. Sometimes it's hard because you're going to have to walk away.
No matter how hard. Wait. No matter how hard let me tell you something. This is one thing that I'm proud of myself for, and it's me even being able to say this is a whole thing is when put against the wall and back into a corner, I choose myself every fucking time. I have literally walked away from a relationship when I tell y'all full in love, oh my God, I'm so in love with this person, I want to be with them, but I knew that I saw it and I knew it, and you know how you try to convince yourself of something else, but it don't work no more because I had an awakening. Right. I have fucked around and discovered a little bit too much of who I was to be able to fake anymore. I couldn't fucking fake it.
And once you know, you can't go back.
You can't go back. But when I say full in love with somebody, and I had to walk away to nothing. Now I'm still single. Walk away to nothing was one of the hardest things that I ever did. but it was because I had just enough in me to know that I deserved better and I wanted better. And if there was something, and I just enough to know that there is a desire in me to want more, that means it's mine.
Yep.
And you can't do it. Right. So let me take my little sad, happy, in love ass over here because I know what this is going to look like if I stay. That is a sense of awareness but having faith in who you are and having faith in the fact that you wrote your story. You know good and damn well you ain't write your story to end like this.
Right, so you can fail.
This ain't it. But there's a lesson in here, y'all. When I tell you, like, oof.
So, part. I mean, and that doesn't necessarily have to be just relationships, but I think just in this walk jobs. In general, right? Like, you will deal with that. Yes. You will deal with that pain. And again, when we talked about, I don't remember which episode it was, you guys, at this point, but we talked about sometimes this path can be very lonely. Ooh, and this is one of those things where it's like you feel lonely because you get to a point where you can't ignore certain things.
Okay, so look. So we're going to get off the Mia business today. Okay, I got it. See, good job. Christian shit. Because literally, I was talking about how fucking long I've been feeling. But here's the fucked up part, y'all. In the beautiful part. Awakening. I'm cute. I'm like, it's not that I can't I don't get attention. This is the beautiful and tragic part about awakening. I am awakened enough to know who I am that I cannot fake feelings.
Right.
It is not about wanting somebody to, wanting to just be loved. It's about the fact that there's something that I need to feel. Mm-hmm. Not something that I have not experienced yet, but I have to have enough faith in myself because I'm just awakened enough to know if it's not there, it's not there. Right. I don't have to push anything. But at the end of the day, in that knowing that what I imagine, what I envision, what I am manifesting, what I am bringing to me is real. It's going to happen. Now, mind you, I haven't seen it yet, but I have to have enough faith in myself. But I'm waking enough to know that does not mean in the process of this manifestation and bringing the love where I feel safe, bringing that energy back to me that's home, that this shit doesn't fucking hurt. Right. It hurts like shit.
Yeah.
It's lonely. It's so lonely. I mean, like, so freaking lonely. And y'all, I like myself. I enjoy being by myself. I'm a fucking hoot.
She is.
I'm a hoot.
Even when she's not by herself.
But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a feeling of, I've gone through I know I'm worthy. I know that it's coming. I know it's for me. But that does not mean keeping it 100,000% real. This shit don't hurt. I mean, it
does hurt.
It hurts. Yeah. But when you have, when we say, awakening comes in waves. I have fucked up and got just woken up, air quotes, to know that what I desire, I deserve.
Mm-hmm. And that's because you broke down those limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And I think that's another thing, too, is once you get to the point where you're starting to break down those limiting beliefs that we are programmed to believe, then you start to realize and look at life in a different way, and it can be very, very lonely.
Yes.
But it's all right because you're a queen and you're a king and you are a queen.
But the reason that I share this, you guys, is because I think that I had an expectation before, even in the process of awakening. When you go through, you start expecting that everything is going to be a certain way, and that once you're awakening to something, that means that you don't feel the pain or the challenge of going through that process. And that's why I want to tell people, like, even though I know, like I know, like I full know, like I can smell it, taste it, believe it, I see it. When I say smell, like I know what this person smells like. For like everything is not in front of me. I know all that. That still don't make it less painful. Right. So that like that level of awakening, that's that part where it's so fucking beautiful but tragic at the same time. It
is. Yeah. It is. It's beautiful though. It is beautiful. So so what are you waking up to? So you're waking up to your divinity.
We talked about that. Like the fact that like you are literally and perfectly. When we talk about being made in the image of God.
Yep.
Like, I love that analogy that you use. Yes, like with this,
And honestly, that's the thing that I have against religion, is that religion serves its purpose too, I guess, in some ways, but I believe, and this is just my belief and my opinion, is that I do believe that religion redirects us to knowing that we are divine.
Mm-hmm.
And within our divinity, we actually have the power to create the type of life that we want. We don't have to go through a third party. We don't have to stand in line. We have direct access to spirit, to universe.
It's in us.
Right.
It's who we are.
So for those of you who may not have heard the episode before where I talked about the light, so think about
I
sun,
love this.
Right? Think about sun coming through the window. The sun is shining through the window. You close the blinds, and then you know how you can open up the blinds, a slat, so that the light can shine through. So each individual slat is still light, but it's a different version of the light. It's not, it's coming from the slat, but the lights that are coming through the slats, it's still connected to the same source. So basically, that's what it is. There is a source, which is the sun, if you want to think about it that way. And I'm sorry, I've been drinking. The sun is the source. The sun is the source, because Mia's like, we got one bottle of wine. What's that going to do? So, of course, I'm like, any night I know I'm meeting with Mia, I know I'm going to be drinking.
Who listens to me at this point? Like, honestly, why do you listen to me?
I'm like, well, I don't know if the gym's going to happen tomorrow. But, so the sun is the source. You have the blinds that are open. Each individual light that is shining through the blind, that's us.
And we're all from the same source.
We're not separate. It's still light.
I love that so much, because it speaks to so many things. The fact that we're all from one place.
Right. And we are all connected.
That we're all connected. And the fact that at each of those rays of light that come through the different slats is different. It hits different.
Right.
It hits someplace else different. But it's still the same thing.
It's still the same. And it's still connected.
And it's something that everybody knows what it looks like when light comes through blinds.
Right.
Yeah, I love
that. And it's still connected to the same light source, which actually brings us to the oneness. Because we talk about the power. I mean, as far as you having the power, we have the power. I
got the power.
Man. And I didn't realize that, because religion taught me that I have to go through something else or someone else to be able to ask for some of the power. I don't know.
But that's it. So, waking up to the fact that you have power, especially over your life. Now, so let's break this down, though, because when we think about power in this human existence, we think about having control and power over other people. So let me be very clear. When we talking about power, I'm talking about power over you. Know that how much power you have over your existence, over your life, over your being, over your mind, over your heart, over your energy. Yes. What? Because that's what we're talking about. Your power over yourself, the mastery and sovereignty that you have in your life over yourself. Yep. When you awaken to the fact that I for real control my life, that's a beautiful goddamn thing. Your power. Your energy, your life. Show is. Hi.
Well, and it's interesting that you said that, because one of the things that I was thinking of earlier, which completely slipped my mind. What did you say again? You said we have the power, we have the authority.
We have the power and authority and sovereignty over our shit. Your life. And so,
so that's what it was. So you know how sometimes, and I'm sorry, you guys, you know how sometimes we're like, well, that person made me feel. You made me do.
Ooh, come on.
To be honest,
throw this at you.
And and this is
Keep it real, Christy. Tell them the truth.
But I'm saying, like, I'm keeping real with myself too, because I have said this. This person made me. This person made me. Well, honestly, they didn't make you. You gave them the keys to the car. You got out the car. You got into the back seat, and you let them drive.
Come on.
With the keys.
Where you going?
And no driver's license.
And they made you what?
Right. And they made you. No, you actually relinquished your authority. You relinquished your power.
Relinquished your power.
Right.
Did you hear what the girl said? Come on now.
So yeah, that was huge because I had to realize, I was like, no. And then we talked about this too, like taking the button away.
Mm-hmm.
When you take the button away, that is you remembering that you have the power. No one can make you do anything unless you allow them. And look, let me just preface this too, because I have not perfected that, because there are times where I
keep it real with our kings and queens. You better keep it real. Look, that's real talk, because
you made me get up at 4:00 in the morning to take my money back that you stole from me.
Please help us. Sit down. But real talk. And that's something, and honestly.
And I don't like being petty, guys.
No,
I don't.
I wish I could say the same thing.
No, Mia really enjoys it.
Because
she enjoys it.
I call it, sometimes every once in a while, it's just like, I just want to make sure I still can do
like,
it.
Do I still got it?
Do I still got it?
Like, every once in a while, you just gotta
make sure I'm
you
still
just gotta double dutch.
But for real though. So. But you are. No, seriously, you guys. I struggle sometimes with that too. And then here goes the just awoke enough, right? Just awaken enough to who you are. I can be in a full moment, like, you made me, you did this, and there will be just like I said, I done fucked up just enough to know. Spirit would be like, is this thing on? Sis, ain't nobody making you do shit. And I'm like, wait, can y'all tell me after I'm finished cussing this motherfucker out? Because I was on a roll. Mm-hmm. This was some grade A. Let me tell you something. My cuss word combination is championship level when I'm on one.
Believe
and Spirit
her.
to come in and be like, no, ma'am. This motherfucker ain't do shit. You relinquish your power. And I can't do shit but just walk the fuck away. Drop the mic, fuck it. I'm right. Like, okay, you're right.
Because again, we talk about choice. There's a power in choice.
And
we
how
have a choice.
How am I going to give this? Right. How much energy am I going to give this? You didn't do nothing but be who the hell you are. And now I have a choice. No, you presented yourself, your bullshit, so now I can take it in and make it mine. Or I can be like, oh, that's your bullshit. Right. Your bullshit ain't my bullshit. My bullshit ain't your bullshit. Keep your bullshit, and I'm going to stay over here with my shit. That shit.
Well, it's funny because, we're always talking about memes and, Instagram stuff. But someone said, if you're minding my business, who's minding yours?
Because where? Right. Exactly. So we get, but that's still a struggle. For real. But the Spirit would be like, nope. In the middle. And I'm like, y'all don't even wait for me to finish. Can you bring it to me later so then I can check myself in the middle of it? Yeah. Now I done messed up my combinations. I was on a roll. Shit.
You had your words together.
I was ready.
But again, we are spiritual beings having a human existence. So there are days where we do.
It is what it is.
We do engage sometimes.
And I'm going to keep it 100. I would say there's been a couple of times where even in the middle of knowing that I'm on some bullshit, I'm like, fuck it.
You have to commit to it. You have to commit to
it. I'm a goddamn champion. I didn't came this far. I'm
about
to ride.
Look, I'm no punk. I was not raised a punk. Right.
If you commit there, you do it. Go hard or go home. Sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going. I'll deal with it later. Me and Spirit will talk later. Y'all in my way right now.
I'll deal with it later.
We'll talk later, but right now, I'm
already here. I'm already here. Look, the Oscars are waiting to give me my award, so
I am on the yellow brick road,
right,
in my red shoes. Let's go.
I am going for an Emmy. That is the goal.
Oh, can we be okay? Y'all don't know how much I need to laugh though.
That's just good for the soul.
Okay. All right,
but we did talk about like things kind of just. Well, I shared as far as religion and how I believe that it subdues your knowledge of self. Like,
oh no, absolutely. Wait, one thing I want to say about being oneness, like, you know, that we all come from the same place, good and evil. Let me just, I'm gonna have this because it's so perfect. So think about yourself. So just, you know how I just said, sometimes when I'm in it, I'm like, fuck it, I'm here. Well, I'm going, like real talk. And then I have those moments where I can pull myself out of it, where I allow spirit in, and I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Let me, you know what I mean? And I would, and I'm going to be honest, I would say right now the ratio of spirit winning and me going the other way, I'm about an 80-20 right now. Like real talking, and that's growth for me. But here's the thing. When I'm being petty Betty and when I am being in mission, when I'm acknowledging the divinity in me, I'm still the same person. Mm-hmm. I'm not all of a sudden not from the devil, you know, air quote, when I'm being petty Betty and allowing that part to take over me. And then when I am in mission and I'm awoken and accepting my divinity, all of a sudden I'm from God. Guess what, y'all? It's all the same thing. Mm-hmm. I'm still the same person no matter what I'm embracing and who I'm choosing to be and what I'm giving power. Yep. So when we talk about the oneness of who we are, that we all come from the same place, that's what we're talking about. Like, it's okay. Yeah. We all come from the same place, and guess what? The pieces and parts of you that you would consider contradictory, they all exist within you, just like these devilish, evil people exist and came from the same place that the people that we would consider angels came from. Mm-hmm. So give yourself some grace when you realize, like, you're basically a walking universe. Yeah. And so can I say something too? There's light and dark in you. Yes.
Because I'm like, let me hurry up and say this before I forget.
Yes.
So I think another thing is then once you realize, okay, so we talked about the light and coming through and the lines and we're all connected. So I think once you realize that we are all connected, the shit that I do will affect Mia.
Yes.
And the stuff that Mia does will affect the next person. Yes. And so I think that when it comes time for us to be petty Betty and to be whatever it is in that moment, right?
It's not just you. Ooh.
It's not just us. We are all it. So whatever I do, it affects the collective. And so I think once you have that understanding, you kind of pause before you react, or you approach things differently.
But so Christy, you brought up the basically waking up to the fact that there is a concentrated effort to subdue your knowledge of who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Let me just say this, and like I've always felt this way, you guys. I just when you look at the amount of energy, effort, and resources is put towards blinding people individually to the fact that God lives in them. When you think about all the things, our food, the media, like, you know what I mean? Like, to take you away from understanding the power that you have over your life. When you think about that, you have to pause and think for a second, I must be a powerful ass bitch.
Right.
If you don't want me to know that goddamn bad. Excuse my French, not
and
really.
And then also think about like how they put the chemicals in our food. Like, those chemicals are supposed
to numb you to from
fluoride.
To get into that point where you start asking questions like, wait, hold on. Wait, so you trying to tell me I'm alive to go and work every day to make
pay bills?
Wait, no. To subdue you even to the point where you even start asking that question. It's like, I have power and control over my life. Yes, I'm going to enjoy money. I can do this job and I can live freely and I can do, like, when you think about the amount of time, effort, energy,
you have to know
things that are created specifically to numb you.
I mean,
think about divinity in you.
Like, think about the pesticides. So I haven't done fluoride in my household for a long time because fluoride is known to actually calcify the pineal gland.
Yeah,
and that's what they use. Like, right, third eye, folks.
I got to see,
and that's what they used in the concentration camps. So because what ends up happening is when you have, fluoride, and then you have like the stuff in the water. And I don't think there's been a lot of studies that's actually proven that fluoride is supposed to be good for the, the teeth and all that other stuff.
Well, what it was initially was made for, but it's a poison to kill rats.
Yeah.
So, but in smaller doses, everything.
Air quotes.
Right, yeah, I'm air quoting the shit out of shit. But supposedly it does help with, but keeping it real, this is the funny part. I'm not, y'all, again, I'm not a scientist, but if you look at tooth decay in countries that use fluoride in their water to clean up, to clean the water versus countries that don't.
It's higher.
The tooth decay in countries where they are using fluoride is much less. So there is some truth to that. It's supposed to help, but at the end of the fucking day, but keeping it real, we wouldn't have these issues with tooth decay if we didn't have so much sugar and bullshit in the food. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's the bullshit of it again.
See, the fluoride thing got me once I heard that they use it in the concentration camps because it kept people like very like sheepish and being obedient. So
that's the awakening. Some of the stuff that you awaken to, like the concentrated effort to numb me to why would for me to be a sheep, for me to stay docile, for me to be quiet, for me not to question. There's a reason for that. Why wouldn't somebody want you to, like, let me
and that's part of our contract,
I
right?
I want to live in a world where, y'all, my goal, my purpose, my mission is a fucking awakener. I heal and I awaken.
The awakener.
We're going to do this, okay? Chrissy's the fixer. She gave us the fixer. So Chrissy's the fixer.
Oh, I am the fixer,
and I'm the awakener.
I am the fixer.
Yeah, that's what
the fixer.
Those are our spiritual, quote unquote, jobs. But
I'm the fixer.
Seriously. So you guys, if it's that much effort into, there's something to that. There's something to that,
and you have to question.
You gotta question.
It's like, you know what? I must be that bitch.
I got to be, because I'm bitch. And then the other thing that what you're waking up to is this is another reason why I can't settle. Why I can't just be like, oh, you can go be with anybody. No, I actually can't. Waking up to the truth that you are completely and wholly worthy of what you desire.
You are
period.
Worthy.
Like, I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah, and it took me a minute. I think that was that was another thing that I had to kind of deal with. Like, how come you don't feel like you're worthy?
Right? Having that conversation, because you know what? You know what's so messed up about it? Well, drink the wine.
I don't like that.
They don't hit the. We are
We're drinking wine, eating crackers and cheese.
Chrissy doesn't like this particular cheese.
I mean, you guys know we love smoked Gouda, but this one tastes like
something different.
Some goat cheese. No. It's still like
she's like a little kid. You just gave some broccoli too. Chrissy, where did you get it? You don't like this one?
When I was little, I used to put vegetables in my juice, and just drink it.
See, I was a kid. I would just stuff them in my mouth real quick. I would take all my vegetables. As soon as I said, let me get this shit off my plate. Just out the way. Now I can enjoy the rest of my meal. But it's so funny. I feel like that's the way I did life. Give me the hard shit. Come on. Okay. Whew, now I can relax. But honestly, understanding that you are worthy of the desires, of the visions and the images, like you're worthy of that. And so being woke to that is it makes
that was
you
hard
move
for me
different.
because I had to question myself, like, why do you feel like you're not worthy? Mm-hmm. Or who told you that you can't have this? Or who, like, why? And
why did I accept that that's a thing?
Right. So again, we were asking all these questions. I was just like, well, why? Well, who? Well, why? Why? And that was the hardest thing. Like, well, Christy, you have to come to the grips and understand that you at some point in time allowed someone to make you believe that you were not worthy of good things. And so I had to break that down. And I told somebody, I was like, I'm essentially, as far as like the awakening, you're almost like you are deconstructing yourself spiritually.
Oh, absolutely.
And then building yourself back up.
Absolutely. It's like you're being hazed. Like
right.
you're online. For real. Like real
yes.
stuff. I'm not good. I'm
sorry, but
everything.
My sorority, we don't even know what that word is.
Don't. The motherfucking at black colleges, athletic teams do.
We don't know what that means. We don't know what that is.
I absolutely not. Yes, ma'am. But you do feel like you're being hazed spiritually. It's like a complete and utter breakdown because you, in order to be, I always say, I like to think of it as like, you know how you say your cup?
Yep.
Sometimes your cup needs to be completely empty in order for you to feel and understand being filled with the truth and knowledge and wisdom and experience and divinity of who you are.
Yep.
But and so there will be a time where you feel completely empty, broken, like what in the hell is going on? But just know, that's right. Hold on, just one more second. Because what's being poured into your cup is the truth of who you are.
And I'm the type of person, I would rather be in pain. Like, I would rather go through pain to know the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Than to be numb.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And then just be ignorant to what's actually going on.
Come on.
Like, just pull the Band-Aid off. Like, just...
I told you, I used this analogy before. You're in school as a little kid, and somebody said, I'm going to fight you after school, and it's third period. Like, no, we doing this right now. Like, let's just do this. I don't have time. I'm not about to, suffer for this. I mean, let's do this now. Now, here's the other thing. There is, and we talked a little bit about this, about the pain and the sadness and the grief that comes with waking up. Again, we talked about this, I love to say it, the awakening of who you are and what you're capable of is so beautiful and so tragic. But there is a grief that comes with this awakening because you're losing an old version of yourself. You are literally shattering, like Christy said, you're kind of like destroying a piece of yourself in order to become a new version of yourself. But that's a relationship that you've been with your entire life. This person that you're shattering and getting rid of is who you are to become a new version of yourself. Yeah. That shit hurts. So there is a sadness in there. Is a grief that comes with, oh my God, I have to let this piece of me go in order to become something else.
Yep.
And so it's okay to feel that because it's grieving a relationship. It's grieving a loss. Like,
because we get comfortable.
And this has been with, like when I think, for me, that was one of the hardest things, one of the more difficult awakening moments for me is because I made this good for me. Like, if you ask the old version of me, everything was fine. Like, this is exactly...
the lies we told ourselves.
The lies we tell ourselves. The stories we tell ourselves. And then to get to a place where you're just like, oh my fucking God. That's difficult because it's worse than losing a friend or, a partner. This is losing a piece of yourself that you're like, this piece of myself no longer serves me. What in the entire fuck are you saying?
Because it becomes like our security blanket.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Like even if it's not good for us or it doesn't feel good for us, sometimes we find comfort in our grief or we find comfort in our trauma. And I'm gonna speak for myself, but I will say that the physical abuse that I had from my first relationship, that was my security blanket. And then finally letting that go and releasing it and just, it is no longer a part of me. It does not serve me. It was hard, because even though it was painful, it became a security blanket. And then letting it go, it was like being vulnerable again.
You know what? I would say this is so interesting to me because, your life experiences kind of help shape things.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in so many relationships that were violent. I made it normal for me. So, but this was my pain though. I would much rather experience the physical pain. I would much, like, I literally there was a time in my life where I would much rather you hit me than me have to feel and go through the emotional pain. To me, that was so much fucking worse.
Yeah.
So even to this day, and now, again, waking just enough, I understand I understand, pieces and parts of me that are healing. Mm-hmm. So Christy and I, we were at the gym, and this 5 o'clock mess where we go and purposely try to hurt ourselves. But I would tell you the other day, I was in a whole moment because I was feeling so much emotional pain. The workout was painful, but I needed that physical pain to kind of help offset. Like, I was just out of balance. I'm like, emotion, because I'm an empath. Mm-hmm. So my own emotional shit, I can't explain how emotional pain for me, like, it's like I would just, like, real talk, I would much rather I get my ass beat.
Yeah, physical pain,
but that's because that's who I'm an empath. Like, it just hits different. Like, it hits so different. Yeah. So, but learning that it is a thing. So when you, and the reason I brought it was because when you speak about it, I'm always learning, we're always growing. I always want to be aware of where my mind is. Sometimes it's just like, I was like, why I was thinking to myself, like, when she says that, like, why isn't it like, oh my God, somebody hit, that is terrible. It's, to me, it's literally like, and my brain was like, this is why, because that's how, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, because I'm just like, I had to really go back and be like, sweetheart.
And then it's like, well, why do you think that? Right. So then it's like, well, why do you think that?
Why do you think that way?
You're not questioning
like,
that.
Oh, that's why. But the
and I will say in that relationship, marriage, I also realized, why was I, like, I had to take a step back, like, and I think that's where part of my initial awakening happened. Like, why is this okay? This dude done left his cell phone at the house, took your car, and is at some other chick's house.
And it's my husband. Girl,
right.
I got some more stories like that. Like
why is that okay? Why is that okay?
Ooh.
And so once I got to the point where I was like, okay, no.
That's not okay.
No, it's not. It is not okay for me, and I deserve more. I deserve better.
And you know what? And it's sometimes, even as women, when we're in the middle of going through stuff.
Right.
So, so if you go to your friends, right, and you say,
never took a day off from my job.
Right. Seriously. You go to your friends and you're like, look, this is happening. Of course they're going to be like, girl, oh my God, that's not, that is not okay, and blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. People got to realize that when I say mind your own energy and your own business, you don't understand what else is going on in somebody's life. And I'm not making excuses for anyone, because that's their job to live their life. But I'm telling you, sometimes as friends, when we call ourselves being supportive and having somebody's back, we're not seeing the full picture. Because what we're doing is saying, if I were in that position, it ain't no way in motherfucking hell I would let him blah, blah, blah. But you're not in that position. That's not where you are in your life right now. Mm-hmm. That's where your friend is. And at the end of the day, the best thing we can do when we love and support our friends, and then some shit we just
hold
like, bitch, wake the
fuck
up. But we can, thank you. All we can do is hold space for them. Not fill up their space with guilt as to why you letting this happen in your life. Hold space for them. If you have people in your life who are going through shit and it does not make sense to you, understand that you are in a different level of awareness than they are. And what they need is a safe space. And if you cannot be that safe space for somebody, and guess what? We all can't do it, because sometimes it's like, I can't do this. This shit is dumb as fuck to me. If that's where you are, be honest with yourself. But don't go hurting somebody else and bring them to another level of just, if you can hold space, be a safe space. Mm-hmm. If not, walk the hell away. They don't need that shit. Right. Okay, sorry, tangent. Anyway, because that's some real talk.
No, it is. It really is.
And this is the thing. Learning that, when you start to awaken to some of the things that cause some grief in your awakening journey, is learning that you have control over your own world. And the reason because that sounds beautiful, right? Like, oh my God, beautiful and tragic. Like, this is amazing. And this is exactly how this went with me. I have control over this. Oh my God, this is amazing. Wait, I've always had control. Wait, hold on. Wait, so
let me step back.
You trying to tell me that I've had control
all this shit? Time?
I chose this ignorant Wait. No, that can't be right. No. Go back.
Let's talk.
Right, go back. That can't be right. There's a grief that comes with that from the awakening, like you're not a fucking victim.
Right.
You're not a victim. And sometimes making ourselves a victim helps us cope. Because now I don't feel like I don't have to, not only do I have to deal with pain, but now I got to deal with labeling myself as a bad person. So of course I'm a victim. This terrible person. And guess what? They might be terrible. But guess what?
We chose them.
Bing, ding, ding, bing, bing. Ooh, that shit
bing,
hurts
bing.
like hell.
And that's what I had to deal with.
Man.
Woo! So I was like, wait, so this crazy shit that I went through? But once I realized, like, okay, Christy, this is what you set up. Mm-hmm. But you set it up this way
for a reason
to get to this point.
Ooh, that's the beauty part of the
right. And then this is the lesson that you learned from this, and this is the lesson that you learned from this, and all you need to do is just move forward, so you don't have to keep repeating this lesson. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's hard because it's like, wow, I did this to myself. Nobody else did. I can't blame anybody but me.
I love it.
Yeah. But I think also once you get to the point where you realize that, then you also are able to dictate your life in a different way. And there's just a different energy that you have when you know that you have that power.
Yes. It definitely, this is literally
like, do you know who I am?
The awakening, honestly, is beautiful and tragic because it's like you realize that you have the power, and then it's like, damn, I've had it the whole time. Mm-hmm. You gotta let that shit go because if you knew better, you would do better. Right. This is where you at right now. And then this is the other thing that will give you some grief when you're having this, like, okay, I'm woke. Everybody can't come with you.
Yeah, some people are gonna have to be left behind, which is again goes back to that loneliness.
Right. And here's the thing. This sometimes, the fact that when you realize that every relation, like you're at a different place. Right. And I'm very careful. I don't want to say like you're at a higher level, even though your vibration but that's not necessarily, because that's a comparison makes it like they're lesser than you. But your awareness and understanding of who and what you are is different. Right. So it's very difficult when someone is still in a place where they want to be controlled, where, you know what I mean? And that doesn't make them wrong or bad. Like, yo, we have that. And that's what our message is about today, free will. But you have to allow, people to be who they are. And sometimes it's so painful when our loved ones, our family, our friends, our mates, when you realize they're not where I am, but I'm not about to stop myself from being where. But free will, some of us, and we all know some people that because they're not willing to allow themselves to completely grow and understand that they're in a different place than their friends and family, they will stay where they're at in full awareness and understanding that this ain't it. And then what happens when you stay someplace when you know that you're not being watered here? It's like a plant. You die quicker. It's like, because now you know. Mm-hmm. I know that this is not. I'm beyond this. I'm on someplace else, but I'm still sitting here. The grief that comes with still staying when you know this hit totally different. Because and it's the fucked up part, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You're gonna be in pain whether you stay or whether you go. You're gonna be in pain whether or not you decide, fuck it, I'm just going to be with my people because I don't want to be by myself. Or you're going to be in pain if you say, okay, I'm ready. I surrender to who the fuck I am.
But can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Before I forget. Because y'all know I've been dragging. But I will say, so this is on the beautiful, like the beauty side of things. So again, sometimes people come in and out of your life for a purpose. And we had a client who was in my life, but then was out of my life. And then came back into my life, but in a different way. Like now that, like in this whole spiritual world, and now that helped her awakening. So I just want to let you guys know that sometimes despite our relationships and how they may go, sometimes we help to impact that person and where things go and how they open.
Yes.
Because you
don't even know sometimes,
right.
And it's okay. You don't need to know because that's ego.
You guys just be,
know,
that's the hardest thing too. Is just being and just allowing yourself to live and just. I mean, I have the hardest time just flowing. I'm working on it though, but just be and honestly, like the universe, spirit, the divine, will align you perfectly each and every time. Each and every time.
Let me tell you, I was meditating. I think it was yesterday. We were talking about some stuff, and I had this aha moment where I realized that each and every time I was reminded that each and every time I have been through something where I feel like I'm confused, but especially post where I said I surrender, I told my spirit team, the collective, my team behind me, I told them, you have the right to intervene on my behalf. I gave them clearance. Absolutely. I've been like, y'all good. Especially once you kind of release to the fact that you've created a team, a spiritual team behind you that got your back and helping you move forward, and you activate them, and then things come up, it gives you a certain level of security and comfort because I know I got a team. Yeah. I know, and guess what? We all on the same page.
Yep.
We've talked about this. We got this. I got some ancestors, some passed away loved ones. I got some deities. I got some spirit. We all in this together. We're on the same mission. Right. So when stuff comes up that's painful or hurtful, it's like, what the heck is going on? And you feel like I'm going backwards in life. Yeah. Like this isn't happening. It allows me to say to myself, I feel like I'm going backwards, but boy, I must be taking about 10 giant steps forward because you're always moving forward. You're always progressing, even when it feels like you're going backwards. So when things come up, you're revisiting things, reliving traumatic moments. You're thinking about your exes. Revisiting aspects of your life brings you deeper understanding and a new awakening.
Yep.
So literally yesterday, you could be having a moment where you're thinking about a situation, an old relationship, and you had one understanding. Today, you've had an aha moment. You're a little bit more learned and deeper into who the hell you are. Thinking about that exact same moment is completely different.
Yeah.
And allow yourself to feel that. So sometimes when you feel like, why am I being pulled back to this bullshit? Yeah. It's for a reason.
Yeah,
it's a deeper understanding.
Sometimes it's like, let's see what she'll do.
Right. Let me help you out real quick.
Is she gonna grease her face, take her ears off? What's she gonna do?
Real
but
talk.
I think for me, one of the things that has helped. I mean, there are some days where I'm like, really, I'm still here on this 3D world.
Love it.
But one of the things that has helped me is to like find your tribe, like find people who are speaking and thinking and feeling the same thing that you are, so that you have that collective feeling, you have that community feeling, and you're not just alone. What would you say has helped you?
Like real talk.
Although I don't really have a tribe, but I think about it.
No, but you do though. Actually, you do. I can tell you your tribe.
Is that you guys? I mean,
yes,
I know it's you.
But I mean, yeah.
Is it you guys?
Yes, it's our tribe. Like, this is a tribe. This is part of our soul team. We are speaking and conversing, and people reach out to us. That is a conversation.
You didn't say conversate. You said converse.
Yes. God damn it. Back to our IG meme. So it's one of my favorite ones is, sometimes I speak proper and sometimes I'm ghetto. Both times you know what the fuck I say.
Right.
So.
But it's conversing.
I do, but you know what the fuck I meant.
Not conversate, you guys. I'm sorry.
No, I don't say conversate.
Yeah, thank you.
But, so, I think even though I talked about at the beginning of the episode, you know, like just that loneliness, but there is what has helped me is learning how to be in my own company. Like I said, I think I'm a fucking hoot. I have a good time. I actually really like myself.
Yeah,
like for real.
And I think that's important. That's important.
So being able to just be by yourself, you know, in your own space and enjoying your own company. Like, do you know how freeing and goddamn beautiful it is to be able and be comfortable, enjoying?
Can I tell you how well I sleep at night?
By yourself.
I sleep very well at night. I sleep very well at night.
Now I will say this, even though I'm ready for come on, baby. I smell you. See you. I feel. I know you.
Brought my spray.
Right? I know you there. However, I sleep very fucking well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm because I'm okay with you know what I mean. Like I'm okay with me. Like it's good. And like I said, I'm messed up just enough where I literally can't just have casual sex at this point. I can't do it.
Right.
I can't even fake it enough to be like if I get in that space,
not even for like
space,
$10 million.
it ain't worth it. It's literally just not worth it at this point. The only time that for real, even the only time that I like for real get turned on is when I start thinking about this man. Nigga, hurry up.
Aww.
And shit,
hurry up.
At the end of the day, nobody else is going to be able to be him.
Right.
So that's a waste of pussy. Excuse me, y'all. But you know what? That's just a waste of time. Y'all don't. Let me tell you something. When I say I can meditate myself to an orgasm, I don't need nobody to do. So it's a waste
that meditation, please.
Girl. But if I'm feeling him, thinking about him, I can meditate myself to have an orgasm with somebody that's not even fucking there. I don't even know him. But to give him, and again, that's just where I am.
I'm not saying that on sale tomorrow.
Girl, for real. That's just where I am. I'm not saying judging other women. Yeah. It's like, because sex is a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. And let me say this. Sex does not necessarily mean love. You can have, sex is grounding. Sex is centering. Done right, sex is empowering for you. It can make it like, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to shame like, oh, if you're not with the one, you should fuck that shit. That's some bullshit. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. I'm just like for real, because it's a beautiful thing. For me at this point, I'm just not willing, and I can't fake it to be able to do something with somebody who I know is not you. I can't let somebody touch at this point in my life. When you fucking with me, you touching my soul. I can't let somebody temporarily touch my soul. Like you
for what?
For what? Like, and when I know what it is, when I can go take my ass home, meditate my ass to a motherfucking orgasm. What?
So I'm gonna need that meditation, please. We can all just agree.
I'm just saying
that she needs to go ahead and just
good.
break herself off. Let's break you off of that meditation.
I think I would go, but
I will say that this path or this journey, because of the ups and downs, it has really taught me to enjoy my own company. Because I don't think I've ever traveled by myself before.
It's fun.
And last year was the first time.
Have you ever noticed that? So traveling by yourself, I realized when I started doing we talked about this before. Girl, I go to dinner, all type of shit by myself.
Still haven't gone to the movies by myself.
I've done that. But what I realized is that I'm more open to meeting people and experiencing what's in front of me when I'm by myself.
Right. Yeah.
Because if me and you are out, me and you are talking. We're you know what I mean, we're fellowshipping. And so we're experiencing it together. But when I've traveled by myself and I'm sitting and just looking, it's like I'm taking everything in because it's just me. And it's allowing me to do that. All right. So what's our takeaway, Chrissy?
Ooh, takeaway.
We went long today, y'all. But
we did. We're an hour and 23.
Y'all cool. Y'all, you guys we have asked you guys several times, and every time you have never told us to shut the fuck up.
No,
you're like, no, you're fine. We're like, should we shorten them? Y'all like, do you? So,
well, honestly, so for the takeaway, I would just say, okay, so I am a Libra. Find your balance. we are living, so we're here. What are we going to do? Where are you going to go?
Where you gonna go?
So we are here. Yes, you are awakened. You are woke. So now I would encourage you to find your purpose, find your tribe, and to really learn to just enjoy your own space. That would be my takeaway.
I would say, when you get to the point, again, if you're even listening to this podcast, you are at some level of, girl, leave her alone. Do you, Kai, do you? Christie's daughter just walked in, like, she's such a sweetheart. She trying to tiptoe and shit. Girl, this your house. Walk. You good.
Oh, she pays the bills, huh?
You know what? I swear, these mamas, look these mamas up.
Can you pull the pizza out while you're there?
When you are, if you're listening to this,
Right.
if you're listening to this, you are at a certain level where you're starting to ask yourself some questions and what's going on in my life and what does this mean and what is going on in the freaking world. I would say one of the biggest things that you can do is release an expectation of what you believe an awakening is and allow it to just be.
Yeah.
Allow it to come in waves. And remember, it's not just this one big, I'm woke.
No.
Like, just when when I tell you the autobiography, just when I thought I knew.
Woo!
No. Just all new. Just something else.
No. Yep.
So, okay, lift the crystal. Crystal, go ahead, man.
So, do we have a question for the wings? No. Okay. All right. So, this week's crystal.
Crystal of the wing.
I know. I feel like we need to have some music. It's Tanzanite. So, Tanzanite is, so think about spiritual perception, compassionate self-expression, adherence to truth. Tanzanite also helps with chakras of the heart, throat, third eye, crown, and soul stars. So it's, all those chakras moving up. Element is wind. And so Tanzanite helps the wearer to remain centered in the heart's wisdom while evaluating the ideas of the activated mind. So in basic terms, it aligns the heart and the mind, allowing for a more balanced, centered experience of spirituality. So again, we talk about balance. I just talked about it. So the integration of mind and heart offered by this crystal takes place through the linkage of attunement of the heart and the third eye chakra. And it needs to bring the heart into cooperation and communion with the mind, which is part of what is meant by the search for wholeness. And so Tanzanite also allows the wearer to find it easier to speak the heart's truth. Tanzanite makes it difficult to conceal or deny what one knows in one's heart.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay.
And then over time, this effect grows stronger, making the unconscious more self-aware. And so for empaths, Tanzanite can help form interpretations of the emotionally based information they receive intuitively. So again, this talks about like spiritual balance. That's what I'm getting from this. Just like spiritual balance, making sure that you're balanced. So have you worked with Tanzanite before?
So y'all know, people who build, I love jewelry.
Yes, she does.
Tanzanite jewelry is absolutely beautiful. And one thing I love about Tanzanite, there's a few things I love about Tanzanite. One is, it's rarer than diamonds. And so Tanzanite, you can only find it in one place, and it's in like the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So there's this. I love this stone. It's so beautiful. The color is and they have different shades of this blue. When I think about Tanzanite, I think about like new beginnings. I love that. It, of course, blue is always good for throat chakra, but I think for me, I feel like Tanzanite is closer related to your third eye chakra. Chrissy has on a super cute Tanzanite ring. I have some Tanzanite earrings that I was going to put on today, but I forgot, of course, because I got to change earrings. So I love it's such a beautiful stone. It's rare. It's a feel good stone. So if I were to ever, I've talked about being married. I'm not sure that this is something I would ever do, but I could get engaged several times, several more times. Like, what the fucking awesome. But I would say that I would not want another diamond ring.
Oh yeah, I don't want diamond.
Definitely not mind getting a tanzanite. It's a it's
beautiful.
It's gorgeous,
and I'm not really, and
it has such a, like, spiritually.
I'm not into blues and purples, but this is pretty.
About like, and think about this when you're thinking about committing yourself to someone. Like, just the fact that
commit to yourself.
It's the tanzanite is like when she talked about bringing the heart into cooperation and communion. Like when you think about committing yourself to someone and being in a relationship, and someone saying, "Hey, like that stone does that." And she also talked about allowing the person who wears it to find it easier to speak their heart's truth. Mm-hmm. So I think about shit like that. Like I've actually never even held like a tanzanite by itself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I have some jewelry, but it's a beautiful. I mean, when I tell you, make some beautiful jewelry. Yeah, and like I said, it is rare, and actually, it's one of the most. It's one of those stones where there's a lot of fake ones out there, because like you can't get. Like if you get a tanzanite that's over like 4 or 5 carats, baby, like where did you get that from? It's
really?
My God, yes, it's a very rare stone. It's beautiful. I love tanzanite. I'm trying to think who told me. Somebody was talking about they got an engagement ring that was tanzanite, and I was just like, who was this? And I feel like they actually went to Tanzania to get the damn stone. Okay, it's not hitting me, but yeah, beautiful stone.
Yeah, no, it's very beautiful.
All right, so you guys, our message for the collective. I don't know. Ooh, child. Christie's over here about to buy some tanzanite jewelry. I saw through the mirror that your ass was looking up tanzanite jewelry. I just want you people to know. Already, look at you.
Well, why do you have to tell my business?
I see
if you're minding my business,
who's
minding your business?
I'm gonna stay on my side of the mirror.
I'm over here minding my business, looking up some
tanzanite jewelry.
Stay out my head.
You're right. My bad. Okay. Okay. So you guys, message today. I'm
about to go back.
Right, look at you. She ain't nothing. Okay, you guys, here's our message for the collective. Our message today, you guys, we're going to talk about free will. And I know,
we talk about free will.
A lot of people, that's another, it's so apropos that we're talking about this on a free will episode, because a lot of people are like, there's no free will on earth. It doesn't exist. Let me be very clear what I'm talking about. I'm talking about free will and understanding who you are and your divinity, okay? So, here's the thing. When you are exercising your free will, and you believe and you say, hey, people need to be able to exercise their free will. You can do whatever you want to. Understand that the people that you are communing and in fellowship with are exercising their free will. Sometimes we just say, you can exercise your free will until it interferes with what I believe free will is. So, Spirit is like, if you believe in free will, and which Spirit does, like it's in the Bible, it's literally everywhere. You have free will on who you choose and accept and what you give your energy to. And here's the thing. Allowing others to feel theirs is difficult, because sometimes people will even be aware of the divinity in them and decide, okay, I know that it's real, but I'm going to go a different way. Remember we talked about earlier, I said about how people would know that they've moved forward and they have an awareness, but they'll choose to stay because they don't want to leave their loved ones behind. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You got to let people have their free will. So even knowing that they have control over their life, they would choose to continue to be controlled and give up their power over themselves because they want to be led. That's their free will. So Spirit is reminding us this week, you guys, to mind your own free will. If you believe in free will and the ability to learn and grow and master yourself, allow that grace and opportunity and ability for other people, even if it's not in concert with what you believe, okay? So the universe will always seek balance. We talked about the yin and yang earlier today.
Always.
Right? So there's light and there's dark. And there is a balance of both. Understand that both exist. So you will experience people in your life who you feel like, but how could you choose this way? Understand they're exercising their free will. Even when they know that there's divinity in them. That doesn't mean that they are unaware. It just means I understand who I am. I know the power I have. And my free will is telling me to go this way.
Been there.
Allow it to be so. It's called balance, okay? Yep. Spirit wants you to know that as they give us knowledge, expose us to the wisdom of our soul, right? And as that happens, they allow us the free will to choose which way we're going to go. And we, as the awakened ones, have to allow people to do that. There's so much that is here on this planet and this human experience that is meant to divide us. Do not allow someone exercising their free will be something that divides us as people. All right?
Facts.
We love y'all.
Love you guys.
That's your message for today.
Woo! I feel like I kind of got spanked on my hands.
We got to allow these people to do what they do.
Like, I feel like I'm a little sore.
I mean, but we do, because think about it. When we are exposed to who we are and there's these awakening moments, we know, but Spirit doesn't force you to accept it.
Oh, no, because we have free will.
Doesn't say you have free will. So and that's one of those politicized words, free will phrases that people like. We have no free will. You have free will over your energy, over your power, over the sovereignty of your goddamn body.
Because I don't think people realize that you are a sovereign being.
For real.
That means you have full control, authority, and power over yourself.
Seriously. And so, even when we become aware, and we know people who are aware, we expect them sometimes to exercise their free will the way that we do, because you're like, no, but no, Spirit allows us, the Creator allows us to be a manifestation of the Creator's light. Think about this shit. There's evil people in this world. And guess where they're from? Same place we're from.
Right.
They are exercising their free will in a way that works for them. And it is what it is. And Spirit is saying you have to allow that to be. There is balance. The universe will always find balance. All right, y'all. Well, we good to go. Anything else you want to add?
No, that was good.
So we went long today.
Right. You woke, so now what?
Right.
Now what?
You a whole lot of woke now. So, you guys, thank you so much for listening to us. We appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have we have new music playing, so let us know.
Let us know how we feel.
Let us know what you think.
We allowing ourselves to be who the hell we is. I said what I said.
We changed the music, so let us know what you think.
Also, you guys, share. Pass this along to your queen and queen friends. As always, reach out to us. Find us on IG at 2 Queens Crystal Things. Yeah. Get in touch with Christy at Christy R. Edwards. Find me at Wings Unleashed 444. I mean, little angel numbers for y'all. You guys, do us a favor. Go on iTunes. For those of you on iTunes, and leave us a review.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. We love you guys.
Like, what you don't like.
And what are we talking about next week, Christy?
We are talking about surrender. So the topic is surrender to yourself.
Surrender. Ooh. Janae,
and that's part of
dope song called Surrender.
That's part. I feel like that's part of the awakening too. Is like really surrendering to who you are and your like everything, your purpose, all of those things. Whew, like my heart is already like
I'm excited about it. Okay, so
thank you guys.
We love you. Thank you so much for the opportunities to speak and learn and grow and heal ourselves as we heal, awaken everybody else. Let's do this. Talk to you guys next week.
Love you. Peace.
Bye-bye. light, love, and
soul
train.